Welcome back to another review by Mega Train Lover. Today we're having a look at the third and final of the 3 locomotives which I purchased from Jane's Trains in Tooting, my local model shop. And this, as you can see, is another Hornby locomotive, and it's another locomotive which is in BR Black, though in this case it's in the laid crest. And as you can see, this is a tender engine. You can probably also tell that this is an LNER designed engine. And to be more specific, this is a Thompson class 01 280. If we turn to the side, you can see its product code is R3227 and its number is 63663. That says DCC ready, but I have already fitted it with a decoder. Now, the class 01s are not new engines, they are actually rebuilds of the Robinson 8K 280s, which under the LNER classification were known as the LNER 04s. Those were the standard freight engines during World War I, and of those there were 512 of them built. Thompson went ahead and rebuilt 58 of the 04s into 01s between 1944 and 1949. The original engines being built from 1911 up until about 1918, 1919. The rebuild included the fitting of a new standard 100A boiler, all shards valve gear, and also brand new cylinders. Now so there were 58 of these rebuilt and reclassified as 58 of the 04s rebuilt, reclassified as 01s, and these were in service hauling heavy mineral trains. The first withdrawals began in 1958, the last one was withdrawn in 1966. Sadly, none of these have been preserved, but thankfully here we have one in model form from Hornby. If we turn to the back, you can see that you get tons of information about the class and also about this particular engine, which was built in June 1918 and was rebuilt as an 04, and it became a 01 in 1945. You see there's a picture of it in 01 form, as you see, hauling a mineral train, and very weathered as it would have been at the time. So, you know, pretty standard freight engines, but nonetheless very, very powerful. As you can see, their power classification was an 8F, which for a 280 is pretty normal. Anyway, let's put the box to one side, and the locomotive itself is right here. Just bring it very carefully. Now, it is one of the newer Hornby tender engines, which means that there is a plug connecting the engine and the tender. But unusually, the plug is situated at the front of the tender. So if we just put it up close, focuses. There you go. So you can see the plug right there. Normally it's at the bottom, well, like just beneath the tender, but here it's at the front. Now, but we are going to have a look at this engine, and wow. Wow, just look at that. Alright, this light is a bit loose. The 2 lights, again, I've added that myself. But, I mean, wow, just look at it. It's a very, very impressive machine. I mean, God, I probably need to glue that on a bit more properly. I mean, wow, it's got these, look at the wheels, I mean, look at the valve gear. It's very, very finely modelled, as you can see. You do get sprung buffers if it focuses on the front. There you go, see it? You do get sprung buffers. The boiler is made of plastic, and the running board as well. Now, there are one thing which I didn't really like when I opened it, is the running board is a bit flimsy, as you can see. Particularly noticeable on the other side. If I turn it around, it's a bit difficult to handle this model. If I turn it round, you can see the running board does flex quite a bit, which I don't really like, because it does give a sort of sense of insecurity in that, you know, I'm really frightened. I mean, I'm not going to handle this engine roughly anyway, but, you know, with that, you know, it particularly puts me in a mindset that, oh, you know, I need to handle this extra carefully. But apart from that, the detail on this model is superb. Really superb. And if you're wondering, the smoke box start, it never came with it, although I do believe it's supposed to be there, although of course he has fallen off, typical of Hornby's quality control in recent years. But for a freight engine, it's not as heavy as it should be, although it does have reasonable weight, and obviously with the 8 driving wheels it should haul a decent amount of wagons. One thing which you'll notice is it does not have a vacuum brake pipe, because these were fitted with steam brakes only. See the sprung buffers. The coupling on the front, that is pre-fitted. Although if you want to fit a standard tension lock coupling, then you may do so at the front. The cylinder drain cocks there are also pre-fitted. So you get some high voltage stickers, because of course these worked on some, you know, the Woodhead route, for example. There's its number, 63663, and you can see you get the safety valves and the whistle just at the top if it focuses. I don't know why, but this camera is finding it really hard to focus today. Come on. Oh well. There we go. So you get the now I think they are plastic. Let me just have a look. I think the safety valves are metal, but the whistle is plastic. Though it does look quite nice. The cab looks really nice. If we just turn it, you can clearly see the regulator. You can see the reverser, the seats. You can see all the pipe work and the gauge glasses. So yeah, you know, that is a very nice cab, and you can see it running because it is a fairly open tender. Speaking of the tender, this is one of the few elements they used from the Robinson 04s. As you can see, this is clearly an ROD style tender. As you see, there's the laid crest. Here's the back of the tender with the high voltage stickers, and again sprung buffers. Also separately fitted lamp irons and handrails. I'm not too sure if the coal load is removable, but my guess is that it isn't. However, it does look really nice. You also get this tab there where the fireman used to store his tools. Just turn the locomotive around very gently, because it's a huge engine, so I need to be really careful with it. Yeah, there we go. If we turn it around, so you get the reversing rod there, which is really nice. You get a separately fitted handrail running along both sides of the boiler, curving around the top of the smoke box. So yeah, I mean, overall it is a really nice looking engine, despite the flimsy running board. But aside from that, but of course, you know, if you buy this engine, you're not going to be handling it, you know, like a cowboy or something. But you know, it could have been a bit more sturdier than that. But apart from that, it is a really nice looking engine. You know, it's my first LNER heavy freight engine that I've ever purchased, and yeah, I'm really impressed with it. I do also like this interesting design with the plug, how it's at the front of the tender rather than being beneath it. So yeah, overall, very impressed with the model. However, let's see how this huge freight engine actually performs. And here we have the Hornby Thompson 01 on the track. Wow, I mean, she does look very nice and imposing. But anyway, let's select her number and give her some juice. And here she goes. Wow, she's running really, really well. Love the way the valve gear works. Ooh, bit of a hard clatter over the points. Nonetheless, wow. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. I think there's a tender on properly. I don't think so. Yeah, there we go. Solve the problem. The tender was not on properly. Oh well. Yeah, no, she's running really, really well. It'll be interesting to see how many wagons she can hold. But yeah, very, very nice. Let's get a few shots of her passing. So yeah, as you can see, overall, she's running really, really well. Very smooth. And obviously with all these wheels, there are plenty of pickups. There are pickups on the tender wheels as well. Just to conclude this video, I definitely recommend her if you're an Eastern region enthusiast or just an enthusiast of steam engines in general. Highly recommended. It's a very, very nice model. Despite one or two quality control issues, overall I am very impressed with the model. Very, very nice addition to my collection. Anyway, thanks very much for watching and see you in the next video. Goodbye.